Hello everyone and welcome to the 2017 Idlewild Open. I'm Jeremy Koling and I'm joined by Paul Ulibarri, Big Julie commentary, and we're going to start another Disc Golf Pro Tour event on a very wooded course.
Yeah, this course is extremely wooded, difficult, in my opinion probably the most difficult one that we have played all year. So we got a lot in store for you guys today, but we're excited.
Absolutely. This is a course that I've been hearing about since I started playing disc golf 11 years ago, and it's only about 7 hours away from my house, but I've not made it to it. So I've been waiting to play here for a really long time, so I'm excited too.
Yeah, and then hole one right here really doesn't really give the course justice. We're saying that it's a pretty tough course, and then you have this 194 meter.
Yeah, it's a big shot.
Par 4.
And we got a big tailwind here, so we can really get aggressive. And this is a pretty long hole, but if you keep the disc up in the air with a nice driver or something that's gliding, you could get down there pretty easily, actually.
Yeah, and the par on this one's pretty soft for a par 4, but it is a par 4.
Yeah, it takes 2 shots for 99% of the players out there. But with this big tailwind and with all the big guns out here, wouldn't be surprised to see somebody put it pretty close within the 3-round tournament.
Yeah, we got James here. He's known for throwing big distance controlled driver shots.
He's actually throwing a star T-bird, which kind of surprised me because of what you just said. He kind of expected him to go for this one. He's pretty good with those star destroyer shots, but a really great shot. I mean, he's inside circle 2. So easily a 500-foot plus star T-bird shot there.
Yeah, he's one of the only people that are going to be doing that.
Yeah, of course. I'm throwing a Thunderbird here. Kind of the same idea that James had. Just keep it in the middle. No need to go for anything too big. And if you keep that up, you can give yourself a look. So.
I was surprised you didn't go Pro Boss there.
Oh, God, jeez. The Pro Boss has hit one too many trees and is out of the bag currently, so...
Yeah, so I got a read off of your guys' disc, and I was thinking that what you guys were throwing were pretty stable, and I thought that James threw a destroyer. So I pulled out a pretty flippy disc and wanted to give it some height, get it to ride right with the wind.
Yeah.
And I just didn't hit it very good.
Really, the only mistake you can make is drastically turning it over, because there is OB down the bottom of the hill on the right, but the other mistake is just hyzering into these woods. It's really thick. Something you're going to see about this course is... And you can see a little tiny window that you have there. But if you're off the fairway, just 1 foot, you're in a really bad spot. And this looks so good. And it just didn't hit that turnover. And then it's a little roll down the hill. It could have been even worse because there is OB at the bottom of the hill down there.
Yeah, but even though it didn't turn over, it was a good out. That was a tough spot I was in. So I was actually happy to get anywhere. I mean, circle 2, circle 1, anything would have been fine with me.
And you can see it's pretty windy right now. Anytime you're playing in the tight woods that we're going to have for 14 of the holes on this course, almost makes that, but that is sometimes you'd rather just airball it. That's unfortunate. And that's just a slow roll. I mean, that's just brutal. I mean, this is not the hard hole.
I can't believe I didn't get the SloMez on the slow roll. But yeah, I put it on a good line, and it was extremely windy. I was really happy with the putt until it did that, and then the second putt also it was extremely windy, and I was happy to just get it on line. And that's what happens on holes like this. Sometimes you get out of position, and then all of a sudden you're scrambling and you're scrambling and you're scrambling, and it piles on, and that's how you start off with a bogey. Yeah,
it's not the hole you want a bogey. I mean, the green you can see that it slopes away, but for the most part, that's a hole you want to step up and get a 3 and move on. But anyways, we got 3 birdies here from Gregg, James, and myself, and on to hole 2. Nice little low ceiling shot over a couple of hills. Really, the distance isn't so important here. It's really just getting past this one tree in the middle that you see. Once you get up here, you have about a 230 foot approach, depending on how good your tee shot was, but it's kind of a tricky green.
Yeah, not a lot of danger off the tee except for left and, like you said, that middle tree, but I think it's a well-designed hole, and I think it's actually pretty fun too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And really the only danger off the tee is off to the left, and Gregg gets a really bad double kick, and there is a little bit of OB down there. It's really tough. They don't want anyone going down there, so unfortunately Gregg is OB off his tee shot.
Yeah, and it's a little bit harder of a tee shot for a right-handed backhand thrower, but if you're as good as James is, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, it's really easy for James.
But yeah, it doesn't really give you justice. The gravity's kind of pulling him down towards that OB, so you really have to commit to the backhand on that shot.
And kind of get a fortunate forward kick there, hit that one tree that you're trying to miss there, but as long as it doesn't kick too bad left or right, you should be fine for your second shot, and kind of got away with that one there.
Yeah. And
that's right down the middle. That's exactly what you want. Way up there in the middle of the fairway, and just hitting that one gap is all you're really trying to do there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting in this round because, James doesn't throw really any sidearms.
Right.
And I know when I get in the woods, I throw a lot of sidearms. I know Gregg throws a lot of sidearms, and you usually really love your backhand, but sometimes you throw sidearms.
I almost accidentally made that. You can't really see from that angle, but that was going right at the basket.
Are you talking about made it in the water?
Yeah, shush. And Gregg has this incredibly difficult from the knee, low ceiling. I mean, it's a shame because the video just doesn't do that justice. That was an incredible shot. Paul and I were even talking about how great that shot was right after he threw it. And you hit the same thing I hit, but fortunately we're just past that wall. If we don't get past that wall, we're going to be throwing our fourth shot from the short side of the lake. So nice little break there for both of us, and James converts on his birdie putt.
Yeah, good start for James.
But yeah, you were mentioning that there's going to be a lot of sidearms in the woods. That's just typically on any woods course, and it's a good putt there. But this course specifically, not only is it in the woods, but there are a ton of right-turning shots. And that's a really difficult prospect for any backhand player, right-hand backhand player. But yeah, if you don't have a forehand out here, it's really difficult to compete with the people who do, because it is just so forehand lefty friendly in this course.
Mm-hmm. And the woods are tight, so even for a lefty, doing a full backhand is still extremely hard.
Right, turning your back to the tee shot is difficult in the woods anytime.
Yep.
And Gregg saves a really nice par there. He was looking at a big number, but gets out of there with a par, and we get 3 birdies. And we're on to hole 3 now. Hole 3 is such a beautiful hole, right? 400 feet downhill. I got another couple of hills here, and you're really not quite getting the feel for what Idlewild really is on these first 4 or 5 holes. But really beautiful hole. There's a little creek in front that's casual. There is OB left, but other than that, there's really no danger in this hole.
It is extremely downhill though, with a low ceiling. It's a very tough backhand. It's a very tough backhand. I think it shapes a lot better for a lefty or a sidearm. But James puts this on an amazing line. It just gets a little drop.
And just catching the hillside as it gets over that.
But he's down there, and he's going to be happy with that. This is a really, really, really hard hole.
I got my little Sexton Firebird here. Just put on a little bit of Anheuser. Just try to get around that corner, which I did, and just outside the circle. I'm happy with that. I mean, anything down there putting, this is, I don't want to say a bonus birdie, but it's a really good one to get.
I definitely feel like it's a bonus birdie.
Okay. And you have to push that right side. If you're throwing the right hand backhand, you got to get kind of sneaky through some stuff, and that was a great shot there. Probably about 26, 27 feet away from the basket, about past the basket, which is not easy to do.
Yeah, I hit my line, but I didn't hit my height, and I got lucky and got through a few limbs and branches there.
And Gregg's got this one way too early. Hits a tree. That's going to be a tricky approach because he's got the hillside in the way.
And when you're throwing a backhand, that's usually the miss is left, because you have to put it on an extreme hyzer to get that late flip down the hill. So. And
Gregg was yelling, "Ring it." He couldn't see the basket from where he was standing. That was an incredibly impressive shot there.
Yeah, he's making these sidearms look really easy.
Oh yeah, there's a SloMez, baby.
Nice, and that's just a great start. Going birdie, birdie, birdie on those 3 holes and making a nice putt too to keep the momentum going. That's great.
Yeah. And James unfortunately has a tree in the way. Couldn't quite get rewarded from that nice tee shot. Kind of a bummer that he had to straddle out there and throw the Anheuser putt, but nice little dagger putt there from Paul. Another really nice birdie.
Yeah, at that point I was just happy to get the last 2 to get back to under par.
Right.
It's tough to take a bogey on I feel like the easiest hole on the course, for sure, but you know, good little comeback by me. Pat myself on the shoulder.
Yeah, there you go.
Good job.
Well done, you.
Wow, good job, me.
So we got 2 birdies there, 2 pars. Great save there from Gregg. Really, really underestimated. I mean, not underestimated. Hard to really appreciate how good that was. Hole 4 is, again, I don't want to use the word soft because this course is not soft, but this is not really a par 4 in my opinion. Only 504 feet, but you know, I mean, for a lefty that can throw far, Austin Turner. I don't think Devin Owens is here, but you know, lefties that can bomb hyzers. This is a pretty easy par 3.
And here you can actually see in the background where the back 9 starts is where all that, that's where Idlewild actually is where it's just dark and extremely scary.
And I'm just throwing a wraith here just to get in bounds. No need to attack this hole. It's just the slope takes you down towards the water, and it's a scary shot. But you really got aggressive here and throw a nice flex shot, trusting the disc, and you are inside circle 2, I believe, or at least close to it.
Yeah, close. That's as good as I could have thrown that shot. I mean, with the wind and everything, it's a tough play for me to go sidearm because of the wind, and so I just decided to just go after it. But then James throws it about 2 feet off the ground, just as far as I do.
With a T-bird.
With a T-bird, so.
And we're coming into a slight bit of headwind here, and you can see those clouds in the background. That is impending doom behind us, or coming towards us, actually. So,
and out of Gregg's hand when I was there, I didn't see the full shot because I was a little bit right, but it looked like he was going to be OB left. And then I figured that if it didn't flip, it was going to be OB right, but it got all the way down there.
The dude knows his disc, or he got lucky, one of the two. But nice shot there. I mean, really all you're trying to do is get it about 400 feet or so off the tee and give yourself a nice little easy approach.
Yeah, with James, his hair's usually flowing all the time, so I don't know if it's extremely windy or if he's just really in the zone.
A little mortar there, just trying to keep it low out of the wind.
And this wind out here, you can see that flag.
Look at the end of her flapping,
blowing. So just to give you guys some perspective, even though we're circle 2 about almost like.
Oh yeah.
These are hard up shots.
And you see the rain has started to come down now, and it's looking like we're about to get hit hard.
Yes.
Gregg, nice little putt there after his kind of putter approach floated away. What a goofball.
I did not notice that, but that's...
No, I didn't see that either.
That's really funny.
That's really great. And James, nice putt there.
Oh!
He kept his balance behind his lie. I actually consciously tried to go on the tailwind side on my approach just because the wind was picking up, and so it makes that putt just a little bit easier.
Yeah, those 3-footers can be...
Shut your mouth, Paul.
Typical.
Good putt.
Thank you.
So here we go.
Lifetime warranty, and 1% back to the planet. Tempercraft USA. Temper your thirst.
Heading to hole 5 now, and this flyover isn't going to quite paint the picture of what we're about to go into with the weather. But and this looks like a beautiful day with the little leaves falling and everything. What a difficult hole, though. This shot, the tee shot's not that difficult, but the second shot, man, because this tiny island green and all these little trees just perched everywhere, it makes for an incredibly difficult second shot.
Now, as you throw this shot, the viewers can't really see, but it's extremely windy again, like I was saying on the previous hole, and the rain is pouring.
Yeah,
like
it's
torrential downpour.
We actually waited quite a bit to throw this tee shot because it was raining so hard. We thought that we heard thunder, but we didn't see any lightning, so we didn't hear any delay calls. And eventually, you actually were like, "We have got to go because we can't just sit here forever." So we stepped up. And we decided to throw our shots. And I went OB, and you were not OB. And James is throwing a really aggressive line here, and unfortunately, he's just got too much power.
I think he could have been good, but he caught that leaf on the turnover, and it kind of pushed him left. I'm serious. If you watch closely...
He caught a leaf?
I mean, we could SloMez it.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so he's OB as well.
Credit.
And Gregg's going, again, a very aggressive shot here. This can get you in a really good spot, but that creek is OB, and it's so hard to avoid all of that stuff. So we've all thrown our tee shots. 3 of the 4 of us are OB here, and then out of nowhere, lightning. So then we have to sit there with our delay. But, I mean, it just came out of nowhere.
Down.
I mean, 5 minutes before this, there was no rain whatsoever. So we waited for about an hour, and then here we are, resuming play.
Yeah, and I changed shirts in case you guys didn't notice because of how I had to run back to the car, and I got back and I was drenched. And then I came back and threw the best shot I've ever thrown right in that tree.
Well, speaking of the best shot you've ever thrown, this might be mine. Really
good.
Really bad place to be after the tee shot. And there's the OB creek right by the green, and that was as close as you can really get to the OB without going OB. And
I'm just playing catch with a few trees is all.
Yeah, that's a tough way to start because you were the only one in bounds after the tee shot, and kind of, I mean, you're really not guaranteed anything after your tee shot on this hole.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either. There's the leaf that you're talking about, but that time it was a tree. Gets a nice friendly kick there, and he's on the green there, pretty much parked for his par save. And Gregg as well is playing catch with the trees. But yeah, that's a tough way to start off the resume of play.
Yep. So I'm gonna be having a little 3-footer for bogey.
Yep.
Not too happy about that, especially after the hour-and-a-half wait or whatever we had. But that's how it goes. You have to deal with those delays and everything. And here you are, to try to save.
Yeah, and I'm pumped up there because it's been so long. We were there for an hour and 15 minutes, maybe more, and started off 4 birdies in a row, and then come up with that and come up with a huge save from the OB tee shot. So I was really, really excited about keeping the momentum going.
Yeah, and that was such a hard sidearm roller that you threw, but I did see you practicing that putt while we were in the delay, so. You were planning on getting it in that area, so props to you for
worked out that time.
Yeah.
It worked out that time. Of course, it's got a lot of teeth though, so see if we can avoid future situations like that. On hole 6, which is a very, very awkward kind of shot here. It seems way more right off the tee than the flyby is going to suggest, but. You really have to pull your shot over to get anywhere near the green here. I feel like you're going to see a lot of backhand roller shots here, and
an occasional turnover.
Yeah, you're going to see those 2 shots. The lefties can get the hyzer there, but not many sidearms can reach that shot.
And if you're throwing turnover, or roller, you can kind of go down the middle, but if you're throwing the turnover, you're going to have to push that ceiling really high, and when you do that, you're going to bring those branches into play. So this hole also has some teeth.
Yeah, sure. One thing about the roller is that the grass does get... Oh, wow.
See, and just like I said, you're pushing that ceiling, and he catches those leaves.
Yeah, sure.
Again.
Yeah, leaves.
And but he gets through, and he actually has a long look.
Yep.
And any look on this hole is good. This is a tough.
Yeah, and
tough birdie.
you pure this. Didn't hit any leaves or leaves or whatever you want to call them until the end there. Man, I didn't realize that's you could have even been closer, maybe even past the basket, which is really difficult to do. But a really nice turnover shot. You hit that gap perfect there. And Gregg's trying to do a similar shot to mine, I believe. I think he was trying to throw a roller.
Yeah, I think that was his orange roller disc that he was throwing previous holes.
And that's just a little bit too turned over there. He's going to have about a 60-foot putt there for his 3.
It's crazy to me how much power he has from even a standstill.
Yeah.
Very little effort on that. He was a good 350 feet away.
Right.
And he had the power to get there.
That last second pop that he gets with his forehand is really impressive. I mean, it's not so much about size thing, but Gregg isn't the biggest person, and the fact that he can get so much power with that little quick snap that he gets is truly awesome. James just misses the. This is definitely a bonus birdie. I feel like this is an excellent one to pick up on the field.
Right.
And you're about just inside 40, and that is pure.
Oh, and the SloMez.
Yeah, here it is. And there's James. Nice little tap in there and pick up my 3. And Gregg, unfortunately, just going to have to drop a stroke here with the bogey. So awesome 2 there from Paul. And 3s for James and I. And Gregg just got a little bit of trouble off the tee shot. Couldn't save another amazing par there.
Right, I was pumped with that birdie, especially after the brainless bogey that I had on the last hole after being inbound and coming off the delay. So that kind of got me, ready to go again. And this next hole is really tough. It has this OB pond or something like that. Creek.
Yeah.
OB creek pond. Well, it's like shaped like a pond. It's a little wider.
Okay.
Like watch as I throw this sidearm.
Boom, there's
right
a pond. There's a pond.
There's a round OB section.
Okay, that's more like a creek. Okay, all of that's OB. I see what you're saying.
All that.
I feel like this is when you're finally getting introduced on this course to Idlewild.
Right.
Like right now, we're in the spot where you got to hit a gap with the sidearm, and then you have...
Oh, you moved my disc back.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to say that doesn't matter now, because you played from that lie, and it's already over. James goes for one of those routes that you only see if you've played this course a few times, or if you're just a crazy person like Simon or Eagle, and he throws it actually really nice. He's going to be right in the middle of the fairway. Not that much further than Paul and I with our sidearm, but since James does not have that forehand shot, it's a really difficult backhand anhyzer with a putter. So he goes over the top there successfully in a really nice shot.
Honestly, it's tough to get any further than we really did.
Yeah,
like
right.
Even Gregg had a lot more power than we did.
Right.
And he landed in front of us, but
you don't want to get more power. If you go too much power, you're going to be too long. And we already are a little bit too long because we're throwing anhyzer approaches up this hill. So we actually missed the ideal gap by about 5 to 10 feet.
And we're on a slope here that you guys can't see, and it's muddy, and so that our footing.
Can see that we're on a slope. Give our viewers some credit here. Sorry,
it's muddy. Can they see that it's muddy though?
Oh my goodness! I think we might have missed my approach, but it wasn't great, so you didn't miss much. But yeah, it's a really difficult approach because we have to throw standstills, and you're having to save your
I have like no route right there, and then I split. I was right in the fairway. I got a good kick and easy up and down. This is a hole where you're not pissed with a 4.
No, it's fun. I mean, that's kind of how the rest of this course goes. I feel like you can. Oh yes. Okay. Story behind this: Gregg's about to putt, and Jomez was out of position to catch the gap. So Gregg says, "You're not in the right place to catch this." So he's like, "You want me to move?" He said, "Yeah." And so he moves. He said, "You better make it." And he said, "Just get in position." And then he makes the putt. It was an incredible moment.
And then as he's running up, he goes, "SloMez." That just gives you a little insight of Gregg Barsby.
Gregg Barsby,
so much
character, disc golfer, producer. He's got everything. That was an awesome situation there. That's one of the great things about this course. I mean, this place is demanding mentally, physically, everything. But look at this card. I mean, I don't think I've had this much fun playing with a group of guys in years. I mean, this is like exactly who you want to play with, and it certainly helps to play with fun groups when you play holes like this. Because this one is a monster. The fact that they call this a par 4 it's tough. I mean, this might be the first ever 576-foot par 5 I've ever played.
Yeah, it even looked like the overview is like cut in 3 sections.
Yeah, it's scary just looking at the flyby for sure. And James looks like he laces this shot, but I mean, this is too wide still, and he kept that tight. Yeah. The shot, I feel like for most people is going to be the forehand flex. It kind of gives you a little bit better angle, and you can get a lot more distance that way as the disc is flexing. And Gregg just keeps it a little bit too wide off the tee.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty far back, and that's going to be extremely hard to even get par, I feel like. It's
hard to get par with a perfect tee shot, so when you're out of position, that just tells you right there. I mean, this is such a daunting hole.
Right. So
many places where you can get bad kicks and be in bad spots, and
you just want to really get around the corner. Yep. And I got around the corner, but I even pushed it too far left. It's just such a tough hole to stay in position.
Right.
But even though we were left, we're still happy with that because we're up the fairway quite a bit.
And Barsby with a good decision there. He was lining up the sidearm air shot, and you and I were looking at each other like he doesn't have room to get to that tree. So did as well as he could there with the flick roller, and I just kind of didn't really have a great shot there because I had the bush right in front of me and caught the top of it. I thought I could throw over it, but ended up directing me into the woods, which is a really bad spot to be.
This was looking really good, but then just kind of got a bad kick.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's the name of this hole, man. You can throw a good shot, get little kicks, and just like that, and then another little kick, and then all of a sudden you're in jail.
Well, the first kick you got was amazing. The second kick was not so amazing. This shot right here was amazing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about with him is he can throw standstill so far and so accurate. That's a Firebird that he's throwing.
That was unfortunate he didn't get further, but I had a very tight line there, and that
touchy too.
That was as good of a shot as I could ever ask from there. I was pretty much reserved with taking a 5 when I saw my lie. Took me a minute to get my spot picked out and ended up throwing a really nice shot.
Yeah, so. The viewers can't really tell, but all 3 of our shots were really difficult, and we're all, even though Gregg's outside the circle, I'm sure he's happy with the result.
Absolutely. He was way out of position and had he was in the middle of the fairway, but that's the thing about the Idlewild is you can be in the middle of the fairway and have an awkward stance and an awkward throw. There's so many trees on all the holes in different parts of the fairway that make this whole course from beginning to end so difficult.
Here's Gregg to save par, and that would have been an incredible par for being out of 50 feet off the tee.
Right.
It's funny that this hole's only 576 feet.
It doesn't feel that way.
It seems like it's 2,000 feet. At least.
Yeah. No, it feels so much longer, and it's just such a stressful par 4. It doesn't feel like it at all. I would be surprised if anybody got a birdie on it yesterday. I didn't look at stats, so I don't know if that happened or not, but it would be an incredible 3. Just 2 fantastic shots to get anywhere near the basket. And Gregg will have to settle for the bogey here. But really, that's what you're going to see on this hole. I mean, I feel like we actually played it pretty well to only have 2 over. 2 4s, 2 5s.
Those are really pars, in my opinion. Those 5s are pars.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the par is 4.5, and that's what we average, so not bad. We have the shortest hole on the course. No, the second shortest hole.
Yep.
Second shortest hole on the course, but it's very technical. And once you get over this hillside, the green slopes away pretty dramatically. So once you hit the gap, you can't just throw, power shot through the gap. You have to have a lot of touch as well. it's a really nice par 3 in the mix of all these difficult par 4s that we're about to run into.
Yeah, and I'm throwing my favorite disc in my bag, my beat up PA1, and at first I thought that branch hurt me, and then it actually probably. Ooh, I get the FollowFlight.
I'm excited about this because we're going to see after the branch hit, and there it is, the little fluctuation, but it didn't really hurt it much at all.
No, I think it would have been just as close as
Yeah,
it didn't.
it didn't really change much at all. And these are the kind of holes that I like to live for. I mean, this is a sidearm mid-range shot, and I just pull it a little bit too much, but fortunately I stay in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, and this is what's so impressive about James's game is he's really good at these shots. He ends up pulling this slightly, but that's actually his shot.
Yeah, these kind of woods
turnover and extremely difficult.
Yeah, he might be the best in the game at that type of shot, especially with those old JK AVRs. He's got such a good touch with them.
And here's Gregg just lacing another sidearm.
Yeah.
It's just a really, really, really extremely fast green.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't tell if he rolled away or if he just had too much pace from the tee. That's the first time I'm seeing it from the back end, and I'm excited to see what this does because I thought I threw this thing really nice. Okay, so I thought it might have hit a tree, but I just threw the wrong disc, I suppose, and that's what you get punished with. You have to match the hillside. If you skip up on any sort of hillside like this, you can expect a roll away, and that's what happened.
Yeah, when you hit early, you're going to have that awkward distance for an upshot where it's really tough to throw the upshot with touch going into there. So
I'd almost rather
coming in with some speed.
And I try to go from a little silly shot. I have nothing else there, and I had such a low ceiling. I had to have air bounce. And Gregg's from about 10 feet closer than I was, but a similar spot. But jeez, what an awesome putt! This is the third SloMez of the front nine. I mean or a fourth SloMez of the front nine,
and well deserved. That was really, really good.
That was beyond really good. That was incredible. But really earned that birdie after a really nice tee shot that just didn't quite have the breaks, but he capitalized anyways.
And what you guys didn't see is I actually spit out here right out the bat.
Spit out nothing. Paul complained about a drop of water landing on his poor little thumb when he misses putt, but that's okay. He's learning from it. It's a learning situation. You don't putt when drops of water land on your thumb. But anyways, we've got a good battle. All 4 under par at Idlewild, which is really tough to do. So good start here. It's going to set up for another fun back nine where the things really get interesting. I mean, I feel like this course doesn't start until the back nine almost. So thanks for joining us, guys. Be sure to come back and check out the back nine footage from the 2017 Idlewild Open.